Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and today we're going to do a couple things in this video. We're going to do some shout outs, and we're going to show something that I haven't shown yet. Well, I have shown one of the cards there, and that's the 1977 Star Wars set. And that's the original Star Wars set with the Luke Skywalker and stuff. But about the shout outs, and this is the main card in the set right there. And I had that graded this year. I think you saw it in one of my grading videos. But the main part of this video really is to, one of the reasons I started my channel is I wanted to try to get a lot of the younger collectors into the vintage. And, that's probably one of the hardest things to do, I would imagine. Collecting a player that you never saw play, and you rarely even heard of, things like that. Players from the early 1900s, and I wanted to show my collection off so that people could see that, and some of the younger collectors could get involved in that. And one of the collectors that really got me into that was when I saw a young collector that here from Florida who really was into vintage, and I'd followed him for a long time, and I got to meet him at the National, and that was one of the best experiences that I had at the National when I was there. And I'm going to see him again at the National this year, and I consider him a good friend. So this is my first shout out. So each one of these guys is going to be a shout out to one of the young collectors on YouTube who I admire, and I would like you guys, if you can, to subscribe and follow them. And the first guy that I talked about that I met at the National, become a good friend, and really inspired me to really try to get more younger collectors. And he's really what I call the Luke Skywalker of the younger collectors. So he is the king of the young collectors, vintage collectors. And that is Ryan Nolan, Breakout Cards. This is the guy that you have to follow. You have to take a look at his videos. I know he's got a lot of followers already, and most of you already know him. But to me, for the young vintage collector, this is the guy that I hope that the other young vintage collectors emulate. Ryan Nolan. He's written a book and everything. So I don't need to say a lot about him. Everybody knows him. He's got a lot of followers. So Ryan Nolan, to me, is the head of the class of young collectors, young vintage collectors. And this is the Luke Skywalker from the 1977 Star Wars. It's the #1 card in the set. And I had it graded earlier this year. It's a beautiful card, corners are nice. It is just off-centered. And here's the back. Here's the back of the card. So I'm gonna show you now, so that's my first shout out. I'm going to show you now the set, the entire set of the 1977 Star Wars. And that brings me to my second shout out. And my second shout out is the youngest of all the collectors that collect vintage that I've seen on YouTube. And he has a lot of followers, more followers than me, more subscribers than me, but he's an awesome kid, and he's a kid. He's a teenager. So, and this one is Junior Baseball Fanatic 12, Liam. Liam does a little bit of everything. He does, opening new wax. He does a lot of stuff there. He does lives, him with his mom and dad. And he likes vintage, and he shows vintage cards. And he's one of the youngest collector that I've seen on YouTube that collects vintage. So I want to give Liam a shout out. I watch all his videos. I watch his lives, and he deserves a shout out. So Liam is going to be in there. So these are some of the cards for Liam. This is the set from the Star Wars 1977. C-3PO. So we're going to look at some of these cards, and then I'm going to give a few more shout outs here. Look at that, Princess Leia. That's card number 5. You see the card numbers are there. These cards are nice. I probably should get some of these graded. Well, I did. I got the Luke, and the other ones should be similar. They're just off-centered. You know, back in '77, especially this, Topps really didn't do a lot of cards as far as they did do a lot of, you know, non-sports and stuff, but, you know, it wasn't like they took care in the printing process of that. So a lot of them you're going to see that are off-center and miscut and things like that. So that's why it's so tough to get them, you know, in mint condition. But, you know, here are some of the cards there. And they have, you know, the borders go all the way around. All, you know, blue borders. It's tough to get them mint condition, even though sometimes the little stars interfere with the border in the corners, and it looks like it's not that good. But the corners are clean sometimes, R2-D2. So if you haven't seen this set, you know, this is a good chance to take a look at it real quick. And I'm going to show you there's 3 different ones. The first year, the blue are the first ones that came out, the first series. Then you have the red, and then you have the yellow. But these are pretty nice, pretty neat cards. And I'm not showing you the backs. The backs mostly are puzzles. Some of them do have other stuff in the back, but I don't want to make this video too long. You can see the back when I place them down there. There's the stormtroopers. See, some of them do have some movie facts. Let's see if I can get focused on that here. Oh well, there it goes. So they do have movie facts on the back, but most of them are puzzle backs. So, but anyway, as I was saying, you know, you got to follow these young vintage YouTubers. Want to make sure that, you know, they continue the vintage part of the hobby, because most of the people that you see out there at the shows, most of the young kids, you see them with the Pelican cases, and you see them with all shiny stuff. And, you know, that's all well and good, and that's great. And, you know, they're in the hobby, and that's the main part of it. I really, really appreciate that they're doing it. But, you know, my concern is that they'll get disappointed when some of those cards start going down in value, or don't become so desirable, or the players get hurt, or something happens, and, you know, they get disappointed in the hobby. And I think vintage, you know, at least it holds its value. And on top of that, to me, it's a historic. They're historic pieces. I mean, this is the first year that Star Wars came out with the movie. And, you know, it's always going to have, if it's, you know, some sentimental value. And, you know, those are the type of cards that I tend to keep, are the cards that, you know, the first series of these Star Wars and things like that. And I picked these up, I don't even remember, a long, long time ago, many, many years ago. I'll show you. I have a bunch of doubles of these too. So, but the main thing on this video is, let's support the people getting into vintage. Let's support these young YouTubers and get them to continue, because this is a long journey. You know, I started when a lot of these guys like Liam started young, you know, and my collection developed over the years, and it's taken, you know, 50 years. And you got to be patient, you got to focus, and, you know, get what you like, but, you know, get something that you know is going to be a long-term value. You know, it's, you know, like the Hall of Famers, basically. And most of the vintage Hall of Famers are going to always, they'll never be worth nothing like some of the new guys. So anyway, let me go back. I'm rambling too much. Let me get going to the next young collector, YouTuber, vintage, that I really enjoy watching. And the next guy is Ballpark Memories, Garrett. Ballpark Memories has a great channel. He's got a lot of, you know, vintage cards there. That's what he specializes in. I enjoy, he's doing series now on the T206 cards. He has a lot of, cards for sale. He goes to card shows, he picks up raw cards, he gets them graded. He adds to his collection, but, he moves cards so he could get better cards. And he's a kid. I think he's 19 years old, 19, 20 years old. Again, Garrett, great guy to follow. Another shout out to the young vintage collectors in the YouTube community. And let's show some more of the Star Wars cards. And Chewie. Here's a lightsaber. So these are really nice cards from back 1977. But Garrett is a good guy. Never really met him, talked to him. I've always complimented him on his videos, and he comments me back and stuff. I know he subscribes to me. I subscribe to him. But he's one of these young guys that he goes to the card shops. The card shows a lot. He studies the cards. He knows what's good. He knows what sells. He doesn't buy high-grade stuff. He buys a lot of low-grade stuff, but he sells a lot of that stuff. And with the money that he has, he upgrades his own collection. So I think we're in the doubles here, because I have some doubles here. No, not yet. So here's Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. So he's a good guy to follow. He does some card show videos. He shows his deals, what he buys, what he sells. And I know that some of the YouTubers buy stuff from him also. And that's great. I encourage you to do that and give these young kids a chance to really get involved in the hobby and build their own collection. Because like I was saying earlier, it takes a long time to build a good collection. Because, you do it little by little, one card at a time. And over the years, you'll have an incredible collection. So, I think this is the last card of the set. Yeah, 65. It's the last card of the set. So, people like Ryan at Breakout Cards, as he goes on, he already has an incredible collection. But as he continues, I could just imagine the kind of collection that he's going to have in 10, 20 years, 30 years from now. Or Garrett, Ballpark Memories. He's going to have an incredible collection if he continues what he's doing in the next, 10, 20, 30 years or so. They're going to have one of the top collections, I don't know, just rambling, but great collections. And that's the key. To that. So the next one I want to recognize, another one of the young vintage collectors that I watch and I want to try to promote and hope they continue in this hobby. And this guy has been collecting I think for over 8 years, and he's 24 years old. Staven Sports Cards, Dom. Dom's a great guy. I've already recommended him a few times here, and here's another time, Dom. I know you're telling me I need to stop, but he's one guy that I look at, 24-year-old guy. He's got an incredible vintage collection already. He has been collecting for, I think, 8 years, and he focuses on vintage. He's got a good channel. And you just got to take a look at the stuff he's got. He's doing he's active on YouTube. So you've got to keep an eye out on Staven Sports Cards, Dom. I'm giving him another plug there. And these here are my duplicates. These are duplicates here. Yeah, 44, 17. Yeah, they're not even in order. These are all the duplicates from the set that I built the set, and then these are probably going to end up sending them to ComC or something like that. Go through it and see if there's any that are really, really nice and centered and sharp, but pretty much they're going to go to Comp C. So these are the doubles. Yeah, see, they're all, some of these are doubles. They're doubles from, or triples from the set of the Star Wars. So that's, you've seen all of these in these two piles here, but just did an extra pile to do an extra shout out here for Dom at Staven Sports. So subscribe to his channel, subscribe to all of these channels. These are all young guys. They love vintage cards. They're trying to build their collection, and I want to help them out. The next one I'm going to look at, and these are the red cards. Let me move Ryan up here. Okay. I call him the king of the young collectors there. So here is the red version of the cards. And these, you know, they're not in order, they're not in great shape. I'm just going to show you some of these and give these shout outs to the young collectors. So the next young collector you need to check out is Crackerjack Cards. That's Jack at Crackerjack Cards. Crackerjack Cards, again, another young kid that loves vintage, and him and his dad collect, and he pretty much does everything there, does the videos and everything, and he's even got a sponsor. So that's pretty good. But another young collector that I think you guys need to be aware of and take a look at. Check out his videos, got some nice stuff. So again, he's a young kid, you know, teenager, and he's into vintage, and that's what I like to see. So let's look at the red version. So the red version is like the second series of the Star Wars cards, and these are in no particular order. I just, you know, these are kind of rough shapes, so I didn't even see if I had the whole set. I just grabbed the stack, and we're going to see them. We're going to look at it now. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put them down here with Crackerjack Cards. So, but all of these young collectors, you know, I think they're on the right track of looking at some of these vintage cards they're collecting. They're studying them. They know the history of the players. They know some history. This is all creased up. They know the history of the cards, and you know, I admire that, because that's the age you want to get going. You know, if you want to look at someone that has an incredible collection that started when he was a kid, and he tells his stories in his videos, is John Mangini. Take a look at Mangini's. If you've gone back and look at some of his videos, you know, he talks about it when he was a young kid, and he used to go like through the woods to the store to get some cards with his friends and stuff, you know. And he started collecting vintage. You know, Mangini collected vintage when he was a teenager, when he was young, you know, and look at the collection he's got now. You know? So, you know, that's something that I encourage these kids to do, you know. Get in the hobby, but get to know the history and understand that what you have in your hands, a lot of those cards are history. When you have a Ty Cobb card or even a T206, common T206 cards, you know, those are historical items, and those are things you need to be proud of owning and take care of them. So just I'm gonna give these guys shout outs. These are some of the best young collectors on YouTube that I have seen. I'm sure I'm missing some of them. There's more out there, and if you want to go ahead and you know, comment below and let me know if you know you have a YouTube channel. If you're a young guy, collect vintage, you know, I'll do what I have to do to help you guys as much as I can. And I hope that the other older guys like me help out you young guys as much as possible. So anyways, let me move on to the next one. And I don't remember his name here, but the next one is the Vintage Kid. What I've definitely know about the Vintage Kid is he's got very few videos. He's only done, I think, maybe, I don't know, less than 10 videos. But he's putting together one of the most amazing sets ever. And he's putting together a 1952 Topps autographed set. And he's doing a great job of it. Take a look at his last video there, and you'll see. I don't want to, tell you too much about it because I want you guys to be in suspense. But you're going to see an incredible collection of 52 Topps autograph cards, and the Vintage Kids put it together, and that's very, very impressive. And I admire those type of challenges, because even, veteran collectors will not even take up that challenge to do a 52 Topps autograph set, even to do a partial autograph set. So here's some more of the Star Wars cards here that I'm going to show you in honor of Vintage Kid, the 52 Topps autograph collector. And these are pretty rough shape here. Thank God when I looked up there, the other ones were much better condition, because these are not worth that much and they're rough. These may have been my doubles at one time. I may have sold the set. I mean, you could have gotten these sets, the blue or the red versions for, like 15 bucks, 10, 15 bucks back then. So just want to show you some of these cards and give you a chance to take a look at what some of these look like. And I know that one of my buddies, Brent from Near Mint Musings, it's another guy you should follow. Follow Brent. He likes Star Wars. So Brent, this one's for you also. These are in bad shape, but it doesn't matter. Millennium Falcon. Sometimes it's just nice to have the cards. You don't have to have the cards in mint condition. I mean, over the years, I know I have a lot of nice cards in nice condition, but it's taken many years to get that. And you start by getting the card first. And that's what I like about some of these guys, like Ballpark Memories. He'll buy the cards low grade. Same thing with of course, with Ryan. Ryan will buy the cards low grade and sell them, because vintage cards, in many cases, it's not just about the grade. It's about having that card. It's about having that Willie Mays card. It's about having that Hank Aaron card, no matter what grade it's in. It's a piece of history, and you own that piece of history. And that's the best thing about the hobby. So, last quick recap. 77 Star Wars. That's the blue, which is Series 1. That's the Luke Skywalker. Got 5.5 on that one. The rest of the blue set, and then my doubles, and this is the second series. And of course, the big shout outs, and this is the young collectors on YouTube that I think need to be subscribed to. Starting with number 1, Breakout Cards, Ryan Nolan. He's at the head of the class. And then the rest of the guys. Liam, Junior Fanatic, Baseball. Junior Baseball Fanatic 12, sorry. Dom, Stave in Sports. Jack, Cracker Jack, Cards. Garrett, Ballpark Memories, and Vintage Kid. So, thank you guys for watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to be going to the West Palm Beach card show on Saturday. I'll do some video of that and see what and who I run into over there. So everybody have an awesome day, and please subscribe to my videos. I really appreciate it, and I want to thank all my subscribers that have commented on my videos. I really, really appreciate that. Everyone have an awesome day. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.